We are back in the unit and we are back with the Nissan Skyline, and today we're going to talk about how much the car cost me and how much this car is going to cost me to bring back to a good standard. So if you guys ever get a project car, you know what cost to kind of expect to bring it up back to how you want it to look. But before we do talk about it, we've got some upgrades to make, and the upgrades are something to do with the wheels. So in front of me, we've got these brand new carbon fiber wheel caps and also some brand new silver bolts to replace the awful purple bolts that are currently on the car. So let's go and put these right here on the car and see how they look. The bolts are now in. These caps though have been the biggest pain of my life. However, we did manage to get one set in, so these are how the wheels are currently looking, and in my opinion, they are sexy. I love them, honestly, great choice, better than the purple. So now, let's talk about repairing this thing. Now, let's talk numbers. The car itself cost me £13,500. And I know that sounds ridiculously cheap, but there was a lot wrong with the car when I first brought it, hence the low price. Moving on from that, the first part of the crash, the intercooler. That cost me £350 with shipping to get the intercooler on the car. Now we're moving on to the more pricey items on the list. We've got the headlights, and this was a painful £800 for a set of headlights. And honestly, that is way too much just for some headlights. Now we've got some fun parts of the car. I decided to go for a brand new full body kit on the car, every panel, and that actually only cost me £1,000. I did get a bit of a discount on there, but in my eyes, that is a great price. Now, a less wanted item, but a necessity regardless, is the crash bar. That cost me £250 for the crash bar, which it's okay, but once again, I didn't want to spend that money. And now we're talking about paint. Paint was a massive subject, and honestly, I didn't know what to do. So we have two options for the paint. Option number one, do it myself, which would cost me around £700 for the paint, primer, the lacquer, the guns, the masks, absolutely everything will cost me about £700, but to get it done professionally by someone else would cost me a whopping £4,000. Hence why option one sounds a bit more nicer in my pocket, that's for sure. So option one is the option we're going for. I'm gonna do it myself, show you guys the journey on the way, and fingers crossed it doesn't look shit. So let's wait and see. Now, the most painful figure on this entire list, the rust repair. I haven't seen the pure extent of the rust on the car just yet, but on an approximate ballpark figure from someone else, I was told I'm looking at roughly £10,000 for the rust repair. So please subscribe to the channel, leave a like. I need some goddamn money for this. So with all of these costs, the total comes out to be £13,500 for the full repair on the car, which in my eyes, it's not too bad. It's okay, it's not the worst. It's a number that I knew I was gonna spend on the car anyway. So if you're buying a project car, just expect to pay roughly what you paid for the car in total. But to give you a bit more numbers, with that figure of the car and the cost to repair the car, I'm hoping to sell the car for around £25,000, which would give me a loss of approximately £1,500 on the car, which, if you think about it, is not bad at all. So £1,500 to drive my dream car for about a year or two, potentially longer, in my eyes, is an absolute bargain. So if you guys want to buy a project car, you might lose some money. However, you don't know what's going to happen in a year's time. This car could be worth over £100,000, like the R34, which is what I'm hoping for. But let's wait and see. That's the cost. Let's get this car repaired.